Good, happy Sunday morning, January 24, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday morning edition of Politics with Riley King. We have a lot of political news to get to this Sunday morning edition of Politics with Riley King, so let's begin. First up, after 4-hour Zoom chaos, NHGOP adjourns annual meeting with no vote on chair or vice chair. We tried, said New Hampshire Republican Party Executive Director Joe Sweeney. After 4 hours Saturday of mostly chaos and infighting on how their annual meeting was being conducted via Zoom due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Sweeney and other party leaders decided to adjourn to try to figure out a better way to meet and discuss issues and vote on candidates for top party officers in the coming weeks. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas tells New Hampshire Republicans he'll be back to the state very, very soon. Conservative lawmaker viewed as a potential 2014 presidential candidate speaks remotely to NHGOP's annual meeting. Continuing his effort to make friends in first presidential primary state, New Hampshire, Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton told more than 350 New Hampshire GOP members Saturday that he fully supports the state's first-in-the-nation primary and plans to return to the Granite State very, very soon. Proposed resolution would ban New Hampshire GOP ads on anti-Republic big tech platforms. Also, RNC member Ager says he's established a PAC to fund effort to preserve first-in-the-nation primary. While members of the New Hampshire Republican State Committee had a meeting on Saturday remotely, they also should have considered a resolution that would direct the party to halt advertising on Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms described as anti-Republican and anti-free speech. But during that meeting yesterday, they did not make any progress and did not do any voting or anything. They just were bickering. Colin Boucher reflects on planning inauguration after violent attack. Senator says plans always included keeping ceremony outside. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Quirk works for you at Quirk Kia in Manchester. Our dealership at your doorstep. This month, you can lease the new 2021 Kia Sportage LX for just $129 a month, and Quirk will deliver to you. Visit QuirkKiaNH.com.
We pledge today never to take our democracy for granted.
Senator Amy Klobuchar played a key role in the planning of President Joe Biden's scaled-down and secure inauguration, one she says took on a greater symbolic meaning in the wake of the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
You could still see the spray paint at the bottom of the columns, and it was chilling to think of that, but at the same time, to me, it was all the more important we reclaim our democracy.
Klobuchar says even though there was no large crowd on the National Mall, it was important to her and her Republican counterpart coordinating the ceremony for everything else to look as normal as possible.
A lot of people had said we should move it inside. But in a moment worthy of New Hampshire, Senator Blunt and I both decided that there was just no way we were going to do that unless there was a serious security risk identified that would have been considered and recommended. But I think it would have been a huge mistake to do that. The world needs to see that our country wasn't going to back down.
When the 2020 primary kicked off, Senator Klobuchar wanted to be the one taking the oath on January 20th, and Granite State voters gave her a big boost toward that goal last February. She ultimately threw her support behind Joe Biden and campaigned for him here before the November election. Known as a senator who gets things done, Klobuchar believes the Senate can move forward with its agenda while also conducting the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump.
Just as parents are juggling their laptops on their desks and their toddlers on their knees and teaching first graders how to use the mute button to learn to read, we should be able to, as a Congress, do the impeachment hearing in the afternoon, but get those nominees through in the morning.
Adam Sexton, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sununu older bridges gap to allow postponement of town elections due to COVID. Executive order essentially enacts legislation pending in House, which would also allow pre-processing of absentee ballots for local elections. Governor Chris Sununu on Friday issued an executive order that allows local election officials to pre-process absentee ballots several days before town elections and empower them to postpone their elections from March to April, May, or June due to concerns about COVID-19. No record of NHGOP chair candidate Hansen voting in 2020 elections. Grantham checklist shows him as a registered voter there, but not voting in general presidential primary elections last year. Conservative activist and radio host and podcast Keith Hansen is making a second run for the chairmanship of the NHGOP in a Republican state committee election. On the trail, Maggie Hassan is up for re-election in 2022, and Ayotte inching closer to running in 2022. Former Republican Senator Kelly Ayotte was back in the political spotlight last week. Ayotte, who served as the Granite State Attorney General before, is inching another run as U.S. Senator to be in Washington, D.C. and run against Maggie Hassan. And that does it for this Sunday morning edition of Politics with Riley King. Thank you for watching this Sunday morning edition of Politics with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everyone, and have a great week ahead of you. See you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Goodbye.